Hi, Joe.
Hi Tanvi, how are you doing?
Good. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I think so. I can hear you. I think everyone can hear us clearly also. You were having some technical difficulties to begin with.
Yeah, we
That's
were.
all. But I
Right.
think I think it was fine in the later part of it. We could hear clearly.
Okay, that's great. So Dhruv here is from Ultra Fresh. He's the CEO. And could you introduce yourself in a line or two, please?
Yeah, sure. So, hi guys, hi everyone. We at Ultra Fresh, we are modular kitchen and wardrobe vendors basically. So
Okay.
we operate pan India and we do end-to-end solutions. So from designing, production, installation,
Oh.
and after-sales service. And we've been operating from around 110 showrooms around India. So we've been doing this for a while. In the last 3-4 years, we've done around 10,000 kitchens or so. So we're sort of now
Hi,
pretty
Annie.
well established to take on like project orders as well as residential. But largely, we are more into the residential segment.
Well, I'm more into
From
residential.
yeah.
Okay. So, something which everyone wanted to know is, could you tell us some advantages and disadvantages as to why people should use modular kitchens and not get kitchens made on site? Like, can you give us some pros and cons about it?
Yeah, sure. So I think in general, a lot of our customers, when they visit us for the first time, they want a modular kitchen, but they don't really know what a modular kitchen is. And
Right.
it is actually more common than you would think because a lot of people have heard what a modular kitchen is, but sort of not been explained. And it's a newer concept in India. But
Right.
yeah, like Zian was saying, that it gets made in a factory, comes to your house, and it just needs to get assembled at your place. So it's way more
Right.
convenient. So in terms of, I would like to talk more in terms of like the customer experience in the two different kind
Okay.
of kitchens. So
Right.
one is a modular kitchen which is being manufactured at a factory and it reaches your house. It takes about 20 to 30 days and about
Okay.
2 to 3 days to install the kitchen depending on the size of it. The alternative
Okay.
to that is obviously the traditional way in which kitchens have been made, which
I
is
got it.
a carpenter would come to your house and for like 10
Yes.
15 days be in your house and be making the kitchen. One thing that people have a misconception is that a modular kitchen is generally expensive, and I think
Right.
that is something that people need to sort of be more clear about. Because what happens is when a carpenter or a contractor is working, they will give you a ballpark figure about the price of the project. And in general, what we have seen in our experience is that over time, that price is going to just keep rising because they will keep adding components that they didn't factor into the.
They didn't know earlier.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And as far as a modular kitchen is concerned, if you are able to
So
take
we have
the
a
same
question
space
here.
and
Like, how many days does it take from the order to the delivery? Like, what is the timeline that we're looking at approximately?
so generally, all modular kitchens are between 15 to 30 days. It takes around 15 days to do complete production from the time your design and
Okay.
everything is final. But
Right.
considering the freight and the delivery and everything, we take 30 days as a regular period for
Okay.
modular kitchen installation. From the time you have finalized the order with the vendor till the time it's installed, it will be somewhere between
Right.
30 to 35 days.
Okay. So
Which is
time-wise,
generally-
you're saying it's quicker. You're saying time-wise it's quicker. It is
generally, it's not a problem
economical.
because people have that kind of time when they're deciding for kitchen. It's not a
Right.
it's not a purchase that you do just like without thinking. Usually, it's a part of your new construction or you're renovating the house, etc. So it's a planned purchase, and so 30 days is not at all a long time period for people to face. And I think a very, very good point that Zian was making towards the end was that especially now with the COVID and the lockdown and people being
Right.
so concerned about who is in their house and who's not, you particularly wouldn't want carpenters to be inside your kitchen for 15 to 20 days in and out going all the time, right? So I think
Right.
this way here it is getting manufactured somewhere else and it just has to come and be installed. So it makes it much easier. and
And what are
safer.
the materials do you suggest? Because you're saying it's economical. So is there some different material that you are using than what we designers do at site, or is it the same sort of materials?
As far as materials go, generally in India, the kitchens, as you were saying, are made in marine ply. All
Yeah.
over the world, they are made in particle board, but Indian tropical conditions and the kind of cooking we do with the amount of oil and heat, MDF or particle board is not good. But
Right.
one of the things that we do is also we make kitchens in steel. So we do stainless
Oh, wow.
steel as well as mild steel, and that is pretty unique because there's only a few companies in India that make steel kitchens, and those are
Okay, there's
really
quite
good
a few
for.
people asking for the price range for
Right.
the kitchens.
So
Since you said it's
and
economical.
honestly, it's like buying a car. Like you can buy a car at 1 lakh rupees also and at 1 crore
Right.
also. On an
Okay.
average, a modular kitchen is somewhere around 2 to 3 lakhs in our modern size apartments. Whether it's a L shape or a parallel kitchen.
Right.
Especially in Bombay because the spaces are very small and we don't have much room to play with things like islands and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
given the smaller spaces, modular kitchens can range somewhere between 2 to 5 lakhs
Right.
on an average.
And this is a good quality kitchen that you're talking about, not something with cheap
It's
quality
factory
or cheap.
made, and you would have a warranty on it. You have a customer service that you could call up to. Later on, if anything you want to remodel it, it can be done because usually modular kitchens will be made with certain standard sizes in mind. So if you wanted to
Right.
at some point remove a drawer or add some kind of new storage, that could be done because it would fit into the standardized, sizing.
Right. Right. Great.
One of the
I think that's
things
some
that
great input that he's given us. Yeah, sorry, continue.
I think someone has asked us what's going to be the new normal for kitchen while designing post-COVID.
Post-COVID.
And so I think I would want you to take this question from a design point of view. And also if you can tell me a little bit about designing the corner solution. Because I think utilizing the corner has always been the biggest, complexity while designing a kitchen. So I would love to hear what you have to say about both the things. One is post-lockdown, what do you see about the kitchens as well as the corners and how they are utilized and how you can utilize the corner better.
Right. So, answering your first question about post-COVID, I mean, definitely it's going to be hard to answer anything without any, confirmation from the government or knowing how the disease is going to spread or not. So I cannot give you a valid answer as to it's going to take 5 months, it's going to take 2 months. But we're definitely hoping that things get better, like quicker, because today people are using their kitchens more and more. So they're going to want to change it. But today, even if there's a demand in the kitchen thing, can we provide the supply for it? Because the materials are not coming in and there are going to be labor issues. All the laborers want to run away. So I don't know how much of the execution part we can help with, but with the designing and the demand, I think it's still very strong right now.
Right.
Even like few days back, I've got a few orders for kitchens, but we want to try, so we're going to try our level best to make this work, but it's hard to say anything. And coming to your second question, which you were talking about, corners. So I believe in when people are using the kitchen, people use drawers and shutters for the regular, the whole platform. But what happens is under and above the storage, to use the corner section usually is like such a waste. People don't do anything with it. So some of the things, I'm going to show you this with an image so it's a little easier for you to understand. So I hope you can see this. Is this visible?
Yeah. It's
So these are some of the options which I would suggest for corner storages. If you can see, sometimes what happens is that people are so hell-bent on just putting drawers and shutters that they forget that the most basic option are just having open shelves. I mean, if you have open shelves, it's so easy to utilize that corner space. I agree that sometimes you're a little worried that, if it's maintenance fine, like, if the dust goes in. So we do have other solutions for that. If you can see below here, we have the corner foldables flap storage, which is basically, if you can see, this door is attached to this door. So when you shut it and when you open it, you can easily access to more of the inside. Yeah. So that's something. And then also sometimes you can have these drawers, which are the corner drawers, which a good amount of storage. You'll be surprised the number of storage that actually fits into that. And these are called as magic corners, which are revolvable and they actually come out. There are like many types of these. So I think this is something that people should genuinely like look into. And I'm gonna quickly like run by a video so that you understand how the Magic Corner works. Just give me a
Sure.
second.
I think it's while you pull up the video, I just wanted to add that when it comes to the corner solutions, it sort of is a good way to understand the pricing, because from a Magic Corner that could cost somewhere around 3,000-4,000 to a customer to something like what you're showing,
Right.
and versus a S carousel which could maybe be 20,000-25,000.
Right.
The same thing, it solves the same purpose, but different kind of technology
Right.
and different hardware and accessories can be used to different hardware and
That's true.
accessories can be used in order to fix
Any
the same
particular
issue with
company
product.
any particular company that you would suggest for them to use?
So Ultra
For
Fresh
these
uses
hardware.
only Hetich as the hardware and accessory partner, because we've been doing it
Okay.
for the last 28 years, and they are extremely
Okay.
solid. German engineering is very reliable. We've not had many problems from our clients. So Hetich has generally been my go-to. What do you generally use with your clients when it
Yeah,
comes to
we've been using a
hardware?
lot of Reddit. We're very happy with Reddit. In fact, there are a lot of questions coming up in terms of the hardware fittings as well as the modular kitchen maintenance. So we'll come back to that. But just before that, if you can tell me some newest trends that have been coming up in terms of technology, materials, something that we're not used to seeing, but something that you've used or you would like to use, then if you could share that with us.
Well, there's obviously, so there's like when you talk about our houses now, you have the Internet of Things, and you are seeing everything being sort of interconnected and accessible through your smartphone devices, etc.
Right.
Like when it comes to lighting, now you have smart lighting and things like that. So it's
Right.
true for kitchens as well. There's a lot of new, technology in kitchens which are touch open and like soft opening. There are countertops that can be used in multiple ways, and they can be played around with.
Right.
But I think one thing here is important is that we have to be careful about what kind of technology we are bringing into the kitchen. Keeping in mind who is going to be using the kitchen and how
Right.
convenient it is for them to use some kind of technology. Secondly, we also have to see that kitchen is a very regional product. Like every country, every
Right.
city, every location. Like for example, I sell kitchens in Patna as well as in Coimbatore. The requirements
wow.
are completely different in those two locations. So
Right.
one thing that happens is a lot of the kitchen trends come from Germany and Italy. Usually, you have German and Italian kitchens that are usually the trendsetters
Right.
in the industry. But many of them are not really applicable when it comes to Indian kitchens.
Right.
For
So the
one of the
climate
things,
of Europe makes a lot of difference, you're saying.
yeah,
The
one,
climate in India.
one of the big things that we've seen is like around the world they're using a lot of sleek electrical cooking ranges. But we can't do that in India, because if you want our chapati to really be a chapati, you need the flame. So
Correct.
not everything that is coming through can be used.
Can be used to it.
Exactly, but
And
definitely.
even Siri and stuff is, I think, very, very good with how we can use everything automated. There's so much of automation coming in. In fact, I'd like to quickly share a video I had, which I found something interesting. I found where these concepts where you have sliding platforms, and when you open it, you can actually see a hidden sink or a hidden stove. And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's really cool. So I'd definitely like to show that. Just give me a second.
Yeah. No, I want to say that because I think we've had clients requesting things of that sort, and we want to be able
Yeah.
to make it accessible and affordable. I think that's the big one for doing these
So I
kinds
think
of.
this is pretty cool because when it goes down, it's actually using the sink, and then when you put it back up, it looks like it's a clean counter with just like 4 edges. I think it was really nice.
And that's very nice, especially because you have such limited space, and counter space is one of the things that we keep insisting with the clients, that you need to keep your counter space decluttered, because in a 7 feet or 8 feet long kitchen, usually 2 feet is going to be a hob. That leaves you only 4 to 6
Right.
feet of counter space. That's not enough to create to be able to cook extensively. Yeah, so something
Right.
like what you're showing is a great way to have a breakfast counter as well as have a sink which is underneath or concealed under the countertop.
Right.
Have you done something like this with any of your clients?
No, unfortunately, we haven't been able to do something like this, but it's something we're really looking forward to do simply because the price range is usually a problem because it's so expensive and people are not sure how it's going to work with the climate. But yeah, I think technology has done is doing really, really well in terms of kitchens. So, you guys have any questions regarding residential kitchens? Anything? I think we've pretty much briefed the materials, the technology, the price range. Anything else that you guys would like to know or find out about?
I've actually, till we see a question, I've actually been getting so many people talking to me about kitchens, because, so Bhavya is asking when is Ultra Fresh booming their own Innotechs? Hopefully very soon, Bhavya. There's a lot of cool things in the pipeline which the R&D has been doing. So when the COVID has, sort of shut operations down for so long, one of the positives has been that we've had a R&D department that's been very extensively working. And we have some cool things coming. One of the things which is coming also is a sanitization cabinet, which we think is going to be the need of the hour.
Oh,
so it's just a regular cabinet which is there in your kitchen, or you can put it near.
So Manali is asking, sorry. Actually, I was looking at this question. It was interesting. Someone is asking, how is the maintenance of the kitchen like for an Indian standard, and what is the life of a modular kitchen? Like, does it last for very long?
So usually what I would say is life of the kitchen would depend on the material being used, more or less. So if we make a kitchen in good quality marine ply, which is what we suggest to most of our clients, it will be somewhere between 6 to 8 years. And if it is in steel, then it is a longer durability because if it doesn't get affected by termite and moisture, so maybe 10 to 12 years. The least life is possibly in particle boards, so MDF or HDHMR boards being used. That will possibly give you a 3 to 4 year life. I think one thing to keep in mind about the long term is that it's usually the hinges and the channels which will get spoiled, and if the shutter and the carcass is good quality, then that's not going to get affected. So yeah, you can most cases, like, you can just change the hardware and it comes back to being like a new kitchen very quickly.
Right. So I think we've got most of the questions answered to this, and we would like to wrap up. So if there's anything else that you would like, please ask us now. Otherwise, you can leave us some questions, and we'd like to personally answer those questions with you.
Yeah,
and anything last,
reach out to Little Miss Designer or to Ultra Fresh if you want to discuss anything about new designs or want to know. Someone is asking about what do you wish for your customers to understand about modular kitchens, and someone said what is the best type of chimney for the kitchen. I think customers, one of the things, like I said earlier, was about price. Like, they need to understand what the price entails, and so I would request, even if you're going for a carpenter kitchen, have a breakdown of what does the price include and what it doesn't, so you're able to do an apple to apple, sort of comparison. Someone asked about the chimney. I think one of the things which is important about chimney, and we are manufacturers of appliances as well, we do manufacture chimneys. So from a technical point of view, do not go looking for the highest suction power. Because when you see nowadays, in a bid to do better marketing, a lot of companies will write very extensive suction power. But if the suction power is anything greater than 750 cc, what starts happening is the chimney starts taking up the fuel which is used to burn the gas. So you actually end up taking longer time to cook your food because the heat is being also absorbed, and you're going to spend way more money on your gas or gas pipe. So you need to not go for a chimney with more suction power than 750 cc unless you're doing
any specific brands that you suggest, like not only for chimneys but even for appliances? I think Samsung is doing very well, Siemens is doing very well.
So generally Siemens is a good brand, and we recommend, if the client is not going for Ultra Fresh appliances, then we recommend them to go for Siemens, because that's always been a reliable sort of brand for appliances.
Wow, I think that's been a very insightful conversation with you, Dev. I'm really happy, and I'm sure we've answered most of the questions from everyone. But in case we've missed out, you can always reach out to us, and Definitely go and follow Ultra Fresh. They're an amazing modular furniture company. They will be altering to all your needs, and they're very, very good. I have used them and they're very nice. So please go ahead and follow them.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tanvi, so much. And I just wanted to put it out there that our production has started and our designers have started. We're waiting. So if anyone has any requirement for kitchens, or even if you're just simply curious to know because you've been working in your kitchen and you're curious to know more about how your kitchen could be modified or improved or renovated,
Right.
do reach out to us. And would love to work with you in the future, Tanvi. We should definitely
Definitely.
work together on more sites once this opens up.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So great, nice meeting you. And guys, stay tuned for next week. We're going to be start doing another live next Sunday. We'll be sharing the topics. So good to see you guys. Stay safe. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, Joe.
Bye bye.
Bye.